and welcome to this episode of Batavia Spotlight, where we get to know more about community organizations and businesses here in Batavia and in our local communities. I'm Ellen Huxtable, your host. So let's get started. Our first guest today is Jennifer DuBose from the Human Library of the Fox Valley, which is something I hadn't heard about. So tell us about the Human Library, please, Jennifer.
Well, thank you, Ellen. The Human Library of the Fox Valley is an initiative of Fox Valley Face-to-Face. It's an incorporated organization here in Illinois and here in the Fox Valley, dedicated to promoting tolerance and peace. I learned about the Human Library movement over a year ago, and learned that it was started in Denmark after a hate crime. A group of folks reeling from that event decided they wanted to do something to promote peace and diminish violence. So they created what they then called the Living Library, which has since changed to the Human Library, which is modeled after traditional libraries, where instead books are people and reading is a conversation. So our books and their books are all volunteers from traditionally marginalized groups who've experienced some sort of discrimination or stigma, who are willing to sit and talk to readers for up to 30 minutes at a time about their life experience, kind of share their story.
So it's a discussion then between two people,
That's
asking
right.
questions and getting some answers, getting some responses.
Exactly.
And so how do you go about renting a book out of, how do you check a book out of your library?
Well, you come to our circulation desk, Ellen.
Oh, of course.
Of course, and you talk to our librarians, of course, whose job it is to ensure that our books are all treated well and returned in the same condition in which they were loaned. We are very punny. So like the other over 700 human libraries around the world now, since the first was launched in 2000 in Denmark, it's a very specific goal we have in mind. Folks come to our booth at a festival or an event of some sort where there's bound to be lots of foot traffic anyway, or a freestanding event. So far, our events have been at art festivals or things like that, and they just we engage them in conversation about what they might be interested in. They take a look at our board of available titles. Our bestsellers. Of course, everything is free, but and we invite them to register. We like to make sure we have contact information and that people sign a waiver agreeing to be respectful and mindful of our volunteers' generosity and sharing their stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now it is a not-for-profit organization.
That's right.
Totally established. And so do you look for donations to support this effort?
Thank you, Ellen. We do. We're completely grassroots, shoestring. All of our activities are sustained by donations. Our board of directors is all volunteer. Our volunteers, our librarians and books are all volunteers. And, naturally there are some material things we need to maintain. We have a tent, a beautiful tent. We have a few banners that will hang at our events, and T-shirts that our volunteers all wear. We need to feed and water them so they stay happy and hydrated.
Absolutely.
We also are looking for 501c3 status from the IRS, and that's not inexpensive. So anyone interested in supporting us, whether they wish to become involved as a book or librarian or a volunteer, a support person, or wishing to make a donation is welcome to visit our website.
So where do the volunteers and the readers meet? Where do they hook up together?
I interview each person who's interested, who reaches out to us on our website, and our website address is humanlibraryofthefoxvalley.org. So folks email us or they can call us. Our telephone number is 630-945-0240. Or, they can, look on our website for more contact information. We also have a P.O. box if people should be interested. 621 Batavia, Illinois, 60510. So I interview everyone and make sure that they are comfortable with the exposure involved. This is not an easy thing to do.
Right.
It's one thing to think you want to share your story, but another entirely to be exposed to that degree. Now, these are one-on-one conversations. Occasionally, we have a family or friends that wish to borrow a book for 30 minutes, but it's just a wonderfully generous thing for folks to do. So I make sure that they're comfortable, that they've got some experience with this exposure. I try to get a feel for what they have in mind, what they're hoping to gain from the experience. I kind of put forth some questions that they should be expecting.
Right.
And I also let them know that there is they certainly reserve the right to decline to answer certain questions. We have all kinds of book titles. They include transgender, former refugee, bipolar, autistic, Vietnam veteran, goodness, so many. We have 21 titles currently and more to come. They're not all available for each event, but there are lots of questions a person could ask, a reader could ask, and I like for my books to make sure that they are thinking about what the possibilities are and prepared for them.
Very good. So do they meet at the public library? Do they meet in a restaurant? Where do they meet?
Well, they meet me one-on-one or the others on our board, for sort of a preliminary interview. Well, we have an actual event. For example, our first event was during Swedish Days.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a booth and people passed by and we offered our little bookmarks, Can't have a library without bookmarks.
You don't have to put the book on reserve before you tip the book out.
No, you just come and see the titles that are available. And what's kind of neat, Ellen, when we did our sort of reconnaissance to learn what other human libraries were like and how they functioned, to get some tips and training ourselves, Kara Schuster, our board secretary, and I visited a couple of different libraries. We had the neatest experience. We realized, as our readers are learning, that while we thought we might read a particular title, for example, I wanted to read the transgender title that was available at Purdue University last fall, the year before that, and that title wasn't available. So I ended up reading others not originally piquing my interest, but boy, those were eye-opening discussions. So there's always something we can learn about another's experience.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for telling us about the library, and you've told us about how we get in touch with you. Once more, your website is?
humanlibraryofthefoxvalley.org.
Well, thank you so much, and best wishes to you and your library.
Many thanks, Ellen.
And now we'll take a brief time out to hear from some of our sponsors.
Downtown Batavia, always moving by nature. Recreation, nature, the arts, specialty shops, restaurants and services. Downtown is everyone's neighborhood. Come, celebrate, meet friends, unwind.
See you downtown.
The King County Chronicle is your best source for news and information in print and online in the Tri-Cities and Caneland.
This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
The Drendel and Jansen's Law Group has practiced law in Aurora since 1961 and in Batavia since 1994.
We focus our energy on representing people and businesses and families in the local community. We represent clients in Kane and surrounding counties in matters ranging from divorce to wills, business law to zoning.
We focus our efforts on planning and working towards positive resolutions for businesses and families.
When clients need someone to fight for their interests, we're ready, willing, and able to act as aggressive advocates to protect their interests.
Drendel and Jansen's Law Group with offices in Batavia and Aurora and located on the web at batavialaw.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Wangler, President of Confident Air. Regular maintenance can prolong the life of your furnace and keep your energy costs to a minimum. Plus, there's less of a chance of a breakdown on a cold winter night. Your furnace needs proper care and attention to keep it running smoothly, so you don't end up paying too much for heating during the cold winter months, or worse yet, with deadly carbon monoxide poisoning. We recommend an annual inspection to ensure safe operation. Confident Air, your trusted home comfort professionals since 1992.
Our next guests are Cindy and Jim Canella from Orange Home Services. They do heating and air conditioning. And Cindy and Jim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
So tell us a little bit about Orange. You're in the Batavia community, and tell us about what you do and how did you get started here?
Well, we're a Batavia-based business. We started our heating and air conditioning company in 2010. And something I've always wanted to do. I had an opportunity to do it in 2010, and we did. And it's been a fun ride.
That's
to
great.
say the least. So.
That's great. So Cindy, tell us a little bit about what you do for Orange Home. You do a lot of things behind the scenes there.
Yes, I run the office, and I do have help. Trudy, she's a fantastic assistant. We take care of all the paperwork, invoices, phone calls, you name it. Everything on the back end, that's what we are here for.
Yeah,
great.
The guys in the field couldn't do it without those two in the office. So.
That's very important. That's very important. So now that it's getting to be warm now, and it's going to be cold later, or sometimes it's cold and warm, what are the kinds of things that people should be thinking about when they think about their comfort in their home?
Well, maintenance is the first thing. You know, it's like changing oil in your car. You need to maintain your furnace and air conditioner. You know, every 6 months you need to have either your furnace cleaned or your AC cleaned, and we have maintenance agreements to help you with that. You pay monthly for it, and we call you, we schedule it, and something you don't have to think about. A lot of times people just put it on the back burner and they don't get it done. Mm-hmm. If you've paid for it up front, you tend to want to get it done. So it's something we offer.
And with that maintenance agreement, you get discounted rates. So
okay, so
it's always helpful.
It's a financial incentive as well as a reminder to get that done with your heating and your air conditioning.
Yeah.
So what did you do before you did the home heating and air conditioning?
I've always been in the heating and air conditioning field since I was little. So yeah, we started out there, and that was I've always been in the industry. So
he's always wanted to have his own business.
And now you have it.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that people should think about? Say that they're looking for another furnace or another air conditioner. What are some of the things people should think about if their old one died and it's time to get a new one? What should people be looking for?
The new systems have variable speed motors that save you money every month when it runs. The higher efficiency the unit is, the less it costs you every month. So you don't just look at that initial price, what it's going to cost. Look at what it's going to cost you the lifetime of the system that you buy. So efficiency is very important in that purchase decision you make. Is what the cost is monthly for you, not what the initial cost is up front. And in the quality of installation, I can't say that enough. That's the most important thing about getting a new system is the installation. Make sure it's done correctly, because if it's done wrong, you can buy the most expensive system and it's still not work correctly.
So it's much more than just meets the eyes. It's something that there's value to things that we sometimes don't think about.
And don't see.
Right.
It might look the same to you, but if it doesn't work right, there's numbers and all kinds of things that go into sizing, and that's very important.
Now, one of the things I've heard about is that sometimes people have said that you can buy too big an air conditioner or too big a heating unit. Can you tell us a little bit about that logic? Because that's something that some people don't really understand, but that I've heard from a number of very reputable sources.
Yeah, and that being said is, if you if you oversize an air conditioner, it might make your home cool, but it's not going to take the humidity out. You need to take the humidity out. So a system has to run longer to take the humidity out of the home, where a system that is too large for your home may cool, but doesn't run long enough to take the humidity out. So a cold, clammy house is not very comfortable.
Oh, so in other words, if you're starting to feel that the house is cold, but everything feels a little bit damp or a little bit moist.
Yeah, it's not taking the humidity out of the home.
And so that might mean that you need to think about the size of your air conditioner the next time you're out to replace it.
And anybody that comes out to give you an estimate on a new system should do a load calculation on your house and make sure that they are putting the correct system, not just what the last guy put in. Make sure that you're doing your due diligence on our end to make sure that the system we're putting in is correct size.
So what is a load calculation for those of us that are not quite so mechanically inclined?
It's just a bunch of different numbers from your house, from insulation, R values, to windows, to size, to, there's a whole calculation that you do, and it comes up with the correct size for your home.
So again, this is something that might cost a little bit up front, but it's going to save you money and in the long run.
It's included in installation.
Oh.
So, and the sales, when we come out and do an estimate, we do a load calculation on your home just to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So I don't want that call back saying, my house is cold and clammy.
So in other words, if somebody calls you out and requests an estimate, the load calculation is a part of that evaluation process.
Correct.
That's great. I was just coming from a hotel the other day, and when you say cold and clammy, that's the way a lot of hotel rooms are. That everything feels a little bit damp, and it's not very comfortable. So I can appreciate this. Yeah. What kinds of things do you see that are things that are dangerous, that people might be doing that would be a danger in their home?
Danger. The only thing, when you say danger, comes to mind is the new thing out there is, I believe, people huffing Freon. And they're grabbing, so there's locking caps that we've been putting on all our systems today. So kids and adults or whoever is huffing Freon out of air conditioners, it's actually, we shared it on our Facebook page recently.
I've never heard this one.
Yeah, it's a new way to get high, apparently.
Yeah, so.
And your air conditioner doesn't work as well either.
No, and it breaks your air conditioners.
Yeah, besides the fact that it's not good for you, it's not good for your air conditioner.
I think Aurora is one of the towns that it's code to put locks on your air conditioners now.
So if somebody has an older system that hasn't been seen for a while, and they're concerned that somebody might be curious, it might be a good idea to call somebody like you out to say, please put a lock on my system.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about how people contact you? If people want to learn more about right sizing or get an estimate of that, how can people contact you?
They could just call the office. Our phone number is 630-761-3343. And we'll be happy to answer any questions. You could send us an email, info@orangehomeservices.com.
And your office is located?
In Batavia, 12 West Wilson Street, right downtown.
Okay, so people walk by your office probably very frequently.
Yes.
Well, Cindy and Jim, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciated having you and learning a little bit about what we should be doing with our air conditioners now. And if somebody is thinking about this in the middle of the winter, they should be thinking in advance. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ellen.
And now we'll take a brief time out to hear from some of our sponsors.
The Drendel and Jansen's Law Group has practiced law in Aurora since 1961 and in Batavia since 1994.
We focus our energy on representing people and businesses and families in the local community.
We represent clients in Kane and surrounding counties in matters ranging from divorce to wills, business law to zoning.
We focus our efforts on planning and working towards positive resolutions for businesses and families.
When clients need someone to fight for their interests, we're ready, willing, and able to act as aggressive advocates to protect their interests.
Drendel and Jansen's Law Group with offices in Batavia and Aurora and located on the web at batavialaw.com.
The Kane County Chronicle is your best source for news and information in print and online in the Tri-Cities and Caneland.
This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
Hi, I'm Tom Wangler, President of Confident Air. Regular maintenance can prolong the life of your furnace and keep your energy costs to a minimum. Plus, there's less of a chance of a breakdown on a cold winter night. Your furnace needs proper care and attention to keep it running smoothly, so you don't end up paying too much for heating during the cold winter months, or worse yet, with deadly carbon monoxide poisoning. We recommend an annual inspection to ensure safe operation. Confident Air, your trusted home comfort professionals since 1992.
Downtown Batavia, always moving by nature. Recreation. Nature. The arts. Specialty shops. Restaurants and services. Downtown is everyone's neighborhood. Come, celebrate. Meet friends. Unwind.
See you downtown.
Our final guest today is George Sheets, who is the director of the Batavia Public Library and also is the coordinator of Pecha, which is a brand new offering here in Batavia. So George, thank you so much. Tell us about this brand new offering that you have brought to us.
Well, thank you, Ellen. Pecha Night is a special event. We started last October, and it's growing rapidly. We've now had 4 volumes, we call them, and we've gone from 128 people at the first one to our high was 200 people. We're averaging, 160 or so per event, which is really exciting in our town. And what it is, Pecha is a Japanese word that means chit-chat. And a British-American architectural firm in Tokyo came up with the idea of a presentation called Pecha, which is 20 slides, and each slide is on the screen for exactly 20 seconds. So each speaker has only 6 minutes and 40 seconds to give the whole presentation. The theory is people have great things to say, they take way too long to say them, and so this is a way of pinning everybody down. And you've done one yourself, so you've experienced this.
I have, and it's a challenge because you want to control that slide, and you can't control it, and it's going to move when it wants to move.
That's right. Everything is automatic, except for the speaker.
Exactly.
So we've had some great speakers. We're trying to do this quarterly now, and we've just had some great speakers. Our very first event, and this is the poster for the first one, and that was back in October, and we had some great local personalities, Britta McKenna and Lane Allen, and Mara Hauser, who runs 25 North Co-working in Geneva, and Steve Schmidt, band director at Mooseheart. Just a wonderful lineup of people, and Peter Exley, who's the Chicago host for Pecha Night, came out to help us kick off our very first one and gave a great presentation. So
that's great. So the content is what?
The content is whatever a person is passionate about in their life. It could be career-related, it could be personal. For example, Steve Schmidt, the band director for Mooseheart that I mentioned, we invited him to do this, and he was very excited to do it, and we thought he might do something about music or whatever. His presentation was on adoption and adopting children, and his children, or 2 of his children. And that was completely unexpected and very moving and very personal, a very personal presentation. We've had many different artists. The whole concept was created, I think, with artists and designers and architects in mind. But anybody can do a Pecha. I did a Pecha, and Bill McGrath, the recently retired city administrator for Batavia, did a Pecha on his artwork. Don Lincoln from Fermilab.
Oh, he's great.
He gave a wonderful presentation, and it was about why science matters. So he wasn't telling us about quarks and subatomic particles as much as he was telling us why science is important in our lives. So you just never quite know what each person is going to give you. Our latest one.
Oh, yes.
We have a theme for each one. Our first theme was kaleidoscope.
Okay.
And then we did
smorgasbord,
which we thought was appropriate for a Swedish area in general.
Sounds good.
Then our third one was Leapin' Lizards. We had it on Leap Day, February 29th. which, did you know, I see the little character of Little Orphan Annie there.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
February 29th is Little Orphan Annie's birthday.
I didn't know that.
And she often said leaping lizards. So
She did. So it all ties together. The theme was one.
it all ties together. And then the last theme was an august gathering.
Aha.
And we had just some great speakers this last time. Michael Barton, a local photographer, talked about the joy of destroying my business.
Sounds like Michael.
It does. He's a fascinating person to talk to. One of your people, a person who's appeared on this show, Jennifer Dubose, talked about the Human Library. Sarah Garcia, who works for Live Nation and is a concert promoter, talked about a day behind the music, and she gave us a snapshot of her whole day from arriving at 5 o'clock in the morning to leaving at dawn the next day on the concert. And she's been very busy recently with some of the big events in Chicago. So we're getting and she lives in Batavia. It's called Pachakacha Night Batavia, and Pachakacha Night is actually a group of 8, 9, 11, whatever number makes sense, presentations. We're trying to do 8 or 9 at ours. There is a mandatory break in the middle. The folks in Tokyo that set the parameters for this call it a beer break. You know, you don't have to
Mandatory beer break.
You don't have to drink beer, but
it must be available.
That's right. And we've had either 8 or 9 at each of our presentations. And it's just a lot of fun. The energy is unbelievable. It brings young and old. It's called Pachakacha Night Batavia because we're sponsoring it in Batavia. However, we're really attracting an audience from a much broader area, really Chicago to DeKalb and Elgin to Aurora. We've had speakers from a wide variety of communities in this area, and some of the audiences come from far afield as well. And we're really building an audience, and it's very exciting. We're just happy that the library is very happy to bring this to town, and we have some great sponsors that are helping make this happen. Hicks Brothers Music has been doing all the AV for us.
Great.
Fantastic. Batavia Enterprises has been one of our premier sponsors. Neighbors Magazine has put an ad, a half-page color ad in each of their issues for all 4 of our volumes, and the different venues we've been at, and that each poster is designed by different local designers, and and it's been an exciting opportunity to embrace the arts, embrace people's passions, and it's just fun, and we're just very happy to be part of it.
And ours, as well as the ones from other communities, are all available online.
They are. In fact, I'm going to hold up one that has the word Pachakacha big on it so people can see it. If you Google Pachakacha Batavia, our website will pop up. We're part of a global network, and all of the presentations from Batavia, Volume 4 will be available soon, very soon. All the presentations from Batavia will be there. Just click on the one you want to watch, and audio and video, the slides. We have the slides, we're recording the audio live, and we're putting them together and putting them online. And actually, thousands of these from around the world are available, and they're some very interesting topics. And Pachakacha Night is now available in over 900 cities around the world, and Batavia is one of them. And we just find that to be a special type of event to bring to the community.
It's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Please tell us once more how people find you on the net.
Pachakacha Batavia. That's even easier to read this one. P-E-C-H-A-K-U-C-H-A, Batavia. Just Google that term, and our website will doubtless be the first on the list. And just click on that, and you have it. It'll tell you when the next event is. It'll give you a chance to look at past presentations, and you can also look and see what other ones are available in the area. You can go to Chicago, to Madison, Champaign-Urbana, to St. Joseph, Michigan. There's all over the place. So.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, George. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning into Batavia's Spotlight. Remember, you can watch us on Comcast Channel 17, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, or on our website, www.mybatv.com. You can also go to our YouTube channel, which is BATV 1017. I'm your host, Ellen Huxtable, and we'll see you again next time. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at 630-937-5413 or email us at info@mybatv.com. Have a wonderful day.